Toby's journey to share and warm hearts. In a cozy little town, where the houses looked like bright toy blocks surrounded by green rolling hills, lived a boy named Toby. Toby, with his short curly brown hair and big, curious brown eyes, was known for his bright red cape that waved behind him like the wings of a superhero as he ran. He was 7 years old and full of a thirst for adventure, always carrying his magical compass, pointing him towards his next big quest. Yet, Toby had a problem, a puzzle he couldn't quite solve. Sharing things with others didn't come easy to him. It was like trying to fit a square block into a round hole, no matter how hard he tried. This made playtime less fun, and sometimes left him feeling as lonely as a cloud in a big blue sky. But Toby wasn't alone in this. Chester, his wise old cat friend, with smooth silver fur and eyes as green as fresh leaves, was always there, purring comforting riddles that made Toby smile. "Remember, Toby," Chester would say, his voice as soft as a feather. "There are many others just like you, struggling to share. But like a tree that learns to bend in the wind, you too can learn." "I wish I could be like the heroes in my books, brave and generous," Toby thought to himself. Chester seemed to read his mind and told him a story of a young dragon who learned to share his treasure, making him the richest dragon of all, not in gold, but in friends. "If he could do it, so can you," he purred. Toby longed to join in the games at the park, to be part of the laughter and the running feet. But the thought of sharing his toys, like his special red ball, made his tummy twist into knots. "I want to play, but it's just so hard," he thought, feeling a sadness heavy as a rain cloud. Deep inside, Toby felt a glimmer of hope. "I know sharing makes everything better. I just need to find out how," he whispered to himself. The enchanted library and the golden key. One sunny afternoon, while Toby and Chester were exploring the edge of the enchanted library near their home, something caught Toby's eye. It was a tiny golden key, shining softly with a heart-shaped handle. As he picked it up, the key warmed in his hand, and strange, swirling words appeared, forming a message. "Seek the Book of Sharing in Ancient Lands." Another message shimmered into view, hinting at a world where sharing was forgotten, leaving it cold and joyless. "This quest will warm the world's heart," it read. Toby and Chester exchanged excited glances. "This journey could show me the way to share and make friends," Toby thought, feeling a flutter of excitement like a butterfly in his tummy. As they prepared to leave, Toby and Chester shared a joke, laughing together. "Why did the book go on an adventure?" Toby chuckled. "Because it wanted to get to the next chapter." Their journey began with a step into the unknown, the enchanted library's doors swinging open wide as if greeting old friends. The air buzzed with magic, and the scent of old books filled their noses, a mix of adventure and mystery. "Can I really learn to share and make my world brighter?" Toby wondered, feeling that familiar twist in his belly. But with Chester by his side, he felt braver. "Yes, I can do this. I must," he decided. As they wandered deeper into the library, they came to a fork. Two paths lay before them, each leading to a different time and place. The tiny golden key began to glow brighter, pulsing gently. It pointed to the left, guiding them like a star in the night sky. Toby and Chester followed the key's light, hearts full of hope and minds buzzing with questions. What adventures awaited them in these ancient lands? Could Toby learn the secret of sharing and bring warmth back to the world? As they stepped through a doorway, lit by the key's gentle glow, they found themselves at the beginning of a journey that would change Toby's life forever. A meadow of joy and the shadow of Nevera. As Toby and Chester stepped through the doorway, lit by the key's gentle glow, they found themselves in a world unlike any they had seen before. The air was thick with the scent of wildflowers, and the sound of laughter echoed in the distance. Before them lay a vast meadow, bathed in sunlight, where children and animals played together in harmony. "Look, Chester!" Toby exclaimed, his eyes wide with wonder. "It's beautiful!" "Yes, Toby," Chester purred, his green eyes sparkling. "But remember, we're here for a reason. The Book of Sharing awaits." Their journey through the meadow was filled with sights and sounds that captivated Toby's imagination. He watched as a group of children shared their toys and games, their laughter ringing out like music. It was a melody of joy and friendship that tugged at his heart. "I wish I could join in and share like that," Toby thought, feeling a pang of longing. Suddenly, a shadow fell over the meadow, chilling the air. Navara appeared, his cloak swirling around him like mist, his eyes flickering like orange flames, fixed on Toby and Chester. "You cannot learn to share, Toby," Navara hissed. "The joy of this meadow will fade if you try." Toby felt fear grip his heart, but he remembered Chester's comforting words. Taking a deep breath, he stepped forward, holding the golden key tightly. "I'm not afraid of you," Toby declared, his voice steady. "I will learn to share and make the world brighter." As he spoke, the key glowed brighter, its light piercing the shadow cast by Navara. With a howl of frustration, Navara vanished, leaving the meadow bathed in sunlight once more. Toby turned to find a group of children approaching, curiosity shining in their eyes. "Would you like to play with us?" one of them asked, holding out a brightly colored ball. Toby hesitated for a moment, then smiled. "Yes, I'd love to," he said, feeling a warmth spread through his heart. As they played, Toby felt the joy of sharing fill him. The key, glowing softly in his pocket, transformed into a small golden ball, joining the game and bouncing among the children. After the game, one of the children pointed to a path leading into a dense forest. "The Book of Sharing lies beyond," she said. "You're on the right path." With hearts full of hope, Toby and Chester ventured into the forest, the trees whispering secrets of sharing and friendship. The ancient tree and the Book of Sharing. The forest led them to a clearing, where an ancient tree stood, its branches heavy with golden fruit. Beneath the tree, animals gathered, each waiting for a chance to taste the fruit, but none daring to take the first bite. Toby understood the problem. "They need to learn to share," he said to Chester. Together, they approached the animals, and Toby picked a golden fruit. "Let's share this," he suggested, breaking the fruit into pieces and handing them out. As the animals enjoyed the fruit, their fear and hesitation melted away. They began to share freely, their happiness echoing through the clearing. The tree shimmered, its bark parting to reveal a hidden chamber. Inside, on a pedestal, lay the Book of Sharing, its pages aglow with knowledge and wisdom. Toby reached out and opened the book. The words within leapt into his heart, teaching him the true value of sharing and cooperation. He felt a sense of fulfillment and joy unlike any other. With the book's knowledge safely within him, Toby and Chester emerged from the clearing, the golden key leading them to their next destination, a village where sharing had been forgotten, warming the village's heart. The village was silent, its inhabitants moving like shadows, each clutching their possessions tightly. Toby knew what he had to do. Gathering the villagers, he shared the lessons from the Book of Sharing. As he spoke, the golden key transformed into a shining cup, overflowing with water that quenched the villagers' thirst for connection and joy. As they shared the water, smiles broke out among the villagers, their hearts warming to the magic of sharing. The final challenge awaited Toby and Chester at the edge of the world, where the coldness of selfishness threatened to freeze the heart of the land. Navara appeared once more, stronger and more determined. "You cannot win!" he snarled, unleashing a blizzard that threatened to bury everything in ice. Toby, filled with the courage and knowledge from his journey, stood firm. "Sharing is my superpower," he declared. "It can warm even the coldest heart." With those words, the golden key transformed back into its original form, shining with a brilliant light. Toby held it high, and the warmth of sharing spread like a wave, melting the ice and driving back the darkness. Navera, faced with the unstoppable force of generosity and kindness, faded away, his power broken by the strength of Toby's heart. The land rejoiced, its heart warmed by the return of sharing and friendship. Toby had learned the true value of sharing, not just possessions, but joy, laughter, and love. As he and Chester prepared to return home, Toby felt a sense of accomplishment. He had not only changed the world around him, but had grown in ways he never imagined. "I'm ready to share, not just my toys, but my heart," he said, a smile spreading across his face. Chester purred in agreement, his green eyes reflecting pride and affection. "You've done well, Toby. The world is brighter because of you." With the enchanted library in sight, Toby and Chester stepped through the doorway, their hearts light and their spirits high. They had embarked on a journey of discovery and returned with the greatest treasure of all, the joy of sharing. And as they walked back into the sunlight, the laughter of children playing in the meadow greeted them, a reminder that sharing makes play more fun for everyone, and that sharing creates good friendships. Toby knew that his adventures had only just begun, but with Chester by his side and the lessons of sharing in his heart, he was ready to face whatever came next, sharing his light with the world. As Toby and Chester walked back towards their cozy little town, the golden key in Toby's pocket felt warmer, a sign of the journey's success. The houses, like bright toy blocks, seemed to welcome them with open arms. Toby's heart was light, his steps bouncy, as he felt the joy of sharing radiating within him. "Chester, do you remember the tale of the generous mouse who shared his cheese with the crow?" Toby asked, a smile playing on his lips. "Of course, Toby. That mouse discovered the happiness that comes from giving," Chester purred, his tail flicking contently. Arriving home, Toby looked around with new eyes. The garden bloomed brighter, the air tasted sweeter, and even the bird songs seemed more cheerful. It was as if his newfound joy in sharing had painted the world in vibrant colors. "I've learnt so much, Chester. Sharing isn't just about toys. It's about spreading happiness," Toby thought, feeling a surge of pride. However, Toby knew old habits might try to sneak back. One sunny day, while playing with friends, he felt a tug of reluctance at sharing his new puzzle. But then, he remembered the golden key's warmth and whispered to himself, "Sharing makes play more fun for everyone." With a big smile, Toby invited his friends to solve the puzzle together. As they worked side by side, laughter and chatter filled the air, making the moment even more special. Toby realized that sharing had turned a simple game into a treasure trove of joy. Now, Toby found happiness in little acts of sharing every day, whether it was his favorite book or part of his lunch. Chester, always at his side, purred in approval, his green eyes shining with pride. One day, Toby noticed a new boy in town clutching his toy truck close, wary of the other children. Remembering his own journey, Toby approached him. "Sharing creates good friendships," he said gently, offering one of his toys. As the boy's face lit up with a smile, Toby felt the golden key's warmth in his heart. Together, they played, and Toby shared not just his toys, but the lessons he had learnt. "My friends like it when I share," he told the boy, watching as the ice around the boy's heart melted, revealing a bright, warm smile. As Toby grew, his adventures in sharing took him far and wide. He helped build playgrounds where children could play and share together, creating spaces filled with laughter and joy. He also started a book club, bringing stories to life and sharing them with others, making every tale a shared adventure. But Toby's greatest adventure was teaching others to share, turning every encounter into a chance to spread happiness. With Chester by his side, he traveled, leaving a trail of warmth and friendship wherever he went. Years later, Toby, now grown, embarked on new adventures, ones he could never have imagined without learning to share. He sailed across seas, sharing stories and laughter with crews from distant lands, and climbed mountains, sharing ropes and hopes with fellow climbers, reaching new heights, not just in the world, but in the hearts of those he met. And as Toby looked out over the world from the highest peak, he knew that sharing was indeed a superpower, one that had transformed not just his life, but the lives of so many around him.